I don't think most of us realize what this technology is going to end up doing. Like it's like before you know it, it's going to be like craziness. And I think most people like just think about when like nobody had a cell phone, and like the first cell phone was that big thing that the old guys would carry. You know, and just think about now these things have better cameras than like, and it's powerful. So if we use tools like Clozers, Coffee Clozers, to find properties and then automate our offering or our messaging to agents and things, just think about how more efficient. All right. Hello, everybody. We have I don't know if you've seen this podcast episode where we had this great guest today. And I asked her to come present a little bit of more information, deep dive on the technology. For you that are interested, I think this is, if you're looking for cash flowing properties or potentially value add type properties, you're looking for gentrifying markets, for high rent growth markets, for emerging markets. It's kind of what we're going to dive into. Please welcome Ariel to the show. Welcome back.
Thanks, Bo. Super excited to be here.
So instead of me reading your bio, I'm going to just kind of dive into it. Your background is really in tech. And you've worked for a lot of Fortune 500 companies in AI, the most recent, right? Like your background is like actually programming AI, which is a whole big topic on itself. So you're using your skill sets, and then you started this company that actually helps real estate investors, because you basically merge tech and real estate together, your two passions in life, and in coffee, it sounds like. So like, how does AI help the software? I mean, where do you see AI taking like finding real estate opportunities to? What can we do today, and where is it going?
Sure. So AI is playing a big part today in real estate and finding deals. So particularly for Coffee Clozers, our whole mission is to help investors find deals fast, within 5 minutes, we say. So some of the things that we do is auto read descriptions and have models, AI models, identify opportunities. So for example, identifying if a property is seller financing, if it has a potential duplex, but it's listed as single family. So these are some like text fields that we look at, but we also look at images to identify if properties are turnkey or if they need work. And that can really be useful for someone who is a newbie investor and they're looking for something that's ready to go and rent the next day. It helps to filter out all that noise of properties that may need work in the process.
All right, awesome. Well, welcome our co-host. Here's Mr. Vinney Chopra.
Hi, Ariel.
Hi,
Sorry,
Vinney.
I just got the links messed up. And
So Vinney, we were talking about AI today earlier, Vinney and I actually. Ariel's background is working for Fortune 500 companies, programming with AI. And that's how she created her software. Do we call it software, or do we call it an app? We call it software.
Works. Yep.
Software. So we're going to go over what her software does, but she's incorporating, I'm assuming, some of her AI, and we're just diving in to what AI is going to help us do in the future. Vinney and I were, it's funny.
Did you introduce her already? That was my job to introduce. Sorry, I'm a little late to the party, but you are a data geek, right? Did you say that? I don't know.
Go
I
ahead.
didn't listen.
All right, Vinney wants to do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and nice to have you, Ariel. Where are you located right now? I'm in the Bay Area in San Francisco. Brother Boy's in Las Vegas, and you are?
In Tampa, Florida.
Oh, in Tampa, Florida. My good brother over there, Walter Amarello with Alchemist Nation lives there, and quite a few other people. I built also in Punta Gorda, Cape Coral, all those places nearby, Fort Myers. So, just to give a formal introduction to Ariel, she's a geek and a real estate investor who loves reading. Wonderful. I love to read warm outdoor activities and working out, spending time with family, traveling abroad, and watching sports. Go Yankees. All right. Oh, yeah. Look at that. My goal is to achieve passive income so I can build generational wealth and dedicate my time to teaching programming to underprivileged communities. Wonderful, wonderful. That's great. So, this is so interesting because I've been in multifamily for the last 16 years, let's say 15, 16, got to almost 8,000 units. And we have sold a lot, over the years. and now we still own right there in your backyard in Melbourne and other places. But please go ahead. So this is a very interesting software AI, which is able to rent the units faster or something. I just caught the
No, so
last part.
basically, she's going to go in. She's got a presentation for us, but using
Yeah.
AI and her technology, we can
Hmm.
identify markets like emerging markets where areas are gentrifying, where rent growth is progressing.
Oh, wow.
It also identifies opportunities within single family homes. A lot of the people, we have a gentleman on that's watching right now, and he does
Uh-huh.
co-living houses. So
Yeah.
he looks for houses where he can take a 4 bedroom house and make 8 bedrooms out of it, right? And he's
Got
going to
it.
get $1,000 a room. So why don't you take it away with your presentation, and then
Yeah.
we'll dive into Q
Sure.
and A's.
Will
People, if you have
totally.
questions in the
Yep.
Q and A's, and if you're watching this in our Facebook group,
Hmm.
I'll look there to see if there's any messages.
Sure.
Great. So I'm going to be diving more into
Ah.
Coffee Closers, the software that we were just discussing. But first, just want to give you a little bit of a path of how I got to real estate investing and why I create this app to begin with. So Vinney, thank you for that introduction and a little bit more about myself. Originally from New Jersey, born and raised, now live in Tampa, Florida, but can't take the Jersey girl out. So I'm New York Giants fan, and I always have some references of sports as well embedded. Content creator and 6-time real estate investor.
Mhm.
So in real estate, we face a lot of challenges today, and this includes high interest rates, lack of supply, where many people aren't choosing to put their homes on the market, as
Mhm.
well as competition from institutional investors too.
Mhm.
So given these challenges, we think, should we still invest or should we just sit on the sidelines and wait? But ultimately, we should still be investing, but instead try to use a data-driven analytical approach to do so.
Mhm.
So I have 3 tips on how to leverage data and automation that anyone can apply, not just for real estate, but for other businesses as well. So first, leveraging data analytics. What is data analytics? It's analyzing raw data to make conclusions. So a quick sports example, in football, a lot of the times there's a decision to make of, do you go for it in 4th and 1? Do you go for it or potentially turn over the ball or punt it? And when these teams make these decisions, they look at lots of data. They're looking at player information, the weather, past data of these teams playing one another. But ultimately, all that info is used to make the decision, go for it or not. And that's what data analytics is all about, making a decision. So in my background, I started investing in house hacking. So living in a property in New Jersey and renting out one of the bedrooms. But I wanted to go for more. I wanted to continue investing. And New Jersey was a little bit too expensive for me at the time to buy an investment property outright. So I was looking in Detroit for a duplex. So 2 different units and renting out both. And as I was looking for a duplex, some of them within the area I was looking for were out of my price range. So I thought, how can I still try to make a deal work? And I started to initially just look at single family properties, looking at them on Zillow one by one. I asked my agent, hey, can you just send me a spreadsheet of all these properties so I could start to analyze this at scale? And as I was looking at these single family homes, I noticed that most of them had 3 bedrooms, which is pretty typical for a family of 4, for example. But there were a couple properties that had 6 bedrooms, which I found a little bit unusual.
Mhm.
And by diving deeper, I found a property that was actually a duplex, but mislisted by the agent, which actually happens a lot more often than you would think. And I was able to get this property about $30K under the price of what most duplexes were going for, just by leveraging analytics, looking at things as a whole, and trying to find the odd property out in this case.
Mhm.
So going on to my next deals, I was moving to Tampa, Florida. I was trying to decide, well, where do I invest in Tampa? And Bo kind of mentioned this before, using data for understanding locations. So I was looking at Zillow, Redfin, Realtor, some free data sources to understand a market, see what areas are starting to appreciate. And I particularly wanted to find an area that fit three different things. Price was going up, meaning that appreciation was happening, as well as rent increases and low supply of rental properties. So by looking at this data as a whole and downloading that from these three different sources, I was able to pinpoint an area in Tampa to invest in and focus on getting a property there, which since getting that property within about 2 years of that time frame, it appreciated by 40%, which allowed me to scale and use that money towards the next property. So takeaways here is by using data analytics, using tools like Excel, using Tableau to analyze trends, it really helps to be able to understand where areas are growing or declining, leveraging analytics to make more informed decisions. And now at this stage, I feel pretty comfortable in terms of analyzing a deal, but I'm looking for my next deal in Tampa, and it's a really hot market. It's 2021. People are coming from New York with all cash offers, and I'm just keep getting beat out. I'm a little bit too slow. So I tried to look for a way of how I could use web scraping, which is basically taking information from the web to automatically assess deals. I will automatically want to know if a property will cash flow or not. So I looked to see an automatic way to grab price, estimate, property attributes to do this. And even though I'm a data geek, I didn't want to actually program this from scratch. So I leveraged tools like Browse.AI that actually allow you to do web scraping with no code at all. You just go to a particular website. So I went to Zillow. This example here is for YouTube. You simulate what you're looking to grab, and it will automatically put it into a spreadsheet for you.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's really awesome. No code, and you could actually start off for free and even put alerts. So
And
if
it's
they're
Browse.AI. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Ariel? Yeah, Browse.AI. Beautiful.
There's also Octoparse and a couple others that do similar things, but this one particularly is my favorite. So key takeaways for web scraping is whenever you have a repetitive process, so in my case, it was copying information down publicly from websites like Zillow, there's always a way to automate this. And in the past, you did kind of need to know programming, but now with AI tools, you don't at all. So like with Browse.AI, it's a no-code solution. You can automate your process. So my last stage here was trying to take this to the next level of automation. So even though I had my metrics, I was using web scraping, I was at a point in my career where I was sitting in meetings practically 70% of my day. And by the time I got to a dinner table, looked at my spreadsheet, sometimes it was already too late because it was a very hot market. So I wanted to figure out, how do I know if a deal works and automatically have my agent start to schedule to look at the property for me. And this is where I incorporated Zapier, which maybe a tool you both are familiar with.
Very, very familiar with.
So
Yeah,
Zapier,
MailChimp, Google, everything. Yep. Yeah.
Zapier is a really awesome tool. Basically allows you to connect different applications together and passes information through them. So in this case, I was using Zapier, where every time I got a notification to my email that said, hey, there's a new property that fits your buy box, it would then go to Zapier. It would automatically pull the information from, say, Zillow, so I could calculate cash flow, and then send that text alert to my agent if it met a criteria, if it was, say, over 5% cash flow. And that allowed me at that moment where it was super hot market to kind of get ahead of the competition and find a deal within that time period.
We need to do the same thing for multifamily
Yes,
commercial for Vinney.
Yes.
yes, yes.
This is
Hotels, multifamily, and now RALs, which is residential assisted livings. There is so many of them out there, and we need to renovate some and all. Yeah.
well,
Mm.
Yeah.
this software will actually help you identify good residential assisted living by bedroom count.
I love it. Love it. You just like I saw 6 bedrooms, 8 bedrooms. That's what I need. Yeah.
Perfect. Great. So this also the key takeaways here, very similar to the web scraping, find repetitive
Mhm.
processes and try to connect apps together to make your workflows a lot more seamless.
Totally.
And at this stage, I could dive a little bit more into coffee closers if that
Yeah.
works for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Please. Yes. I love coffee. No.
The name actually comes from a movie called Glenn Ross. It's like a sales movie with Alec Baldwin.
Hmm.
And after kind of going through this process for the last couple of years of using my background in data analytics, trying to find deals, I decided to partner with two other folks to actually put this into an application that not only myself, but others can use as well.
Hmm.
So this is our layout of coffee closers, similar to what you see in search tools where there's a map on one side and then properties on another. But there's some differences here in that we automatically calculate metrics like cash flow. We also identify properties, like in this case, the opportunity to add a bedroom. So we look at ratios of bedroom to square foot, as well as descriptions to see, hey, maybe there's a nook that's in the description that could maybe be converted into some sort of maybe small bedroom or utilized as a space. And we also look to see if properties are ADU
ADU,
eligible.
ADUs, yeah. California, it's very popular. I'm sure all over the place too. But then, do you have the square footage in the calculations? I'm sure. And then you find this space in there. Mhm.
Yes, exactly. So we look relative to the area, what maybe a normal 3 bed, 2 bath ratio looks like, and then try to see like what outliers have a lot more that can help identify if you can squeeze a bedroom in there and add value.
Mhm.
Then going towards the right-hand side, one of the things that I struggled in the beginning to figure out was how to put all these metrics in one place of to find appreciating areas. So where a job market is starting to increase or get stronger, low unemployment, median household income rising, and even things about location, like if a Whole Foods is opening up close by.
Mhm.
So by leveraging different macroeconomic stats, like from the census, which is free as well as Google Places, we came up with a map, which we call a gentrification heat map, that allows you to see areas that you could say are already gentrified, so already have a lot of growth, but really focus on those that are around those areas with the idea that, hey, if I invest in maybe an in progress area today, 5 years from now could have a higher rate of appreciation. And I could maybe pull out that money, leverage it for my next property as well.
So lots of data. I wanted to ask Ariel, now these heat maps, how are they dynamic? I mean, do they change? Because from month to month or 6 months or quarter, numbers will change, right? So how is your, yeah, in the background, in the application, how is that done?
Yeah. So right now we have it where it's changing every quarter. However, we
Mhm.
do plan to move that into a monthly basis since a lot of
Mhm.
this data we are able to obtain monthly. Um, but yes, we're able to aggregate these data sources and then update them in 3-month time frame so that we could see what areas are starting to appreciate.
And this is Dallas. I saw Plano up there, right?
So,
So
so,
this is the
Yeah.
Dallas area there. Yeah.
so we want to buy in the yellow early signs. Those are like the emerging gentrifying areas.
Yeah, yeah. But it could take some time also, right? But in
Mhm.
progress, meaning maybe it's what's the time frame? That's a good one to ask. Like little to none. what's the time frame between that to early signs and then early signs to in progress? I mean, are you saying few years, few months, or what's the time
I think
period?
it's the trends. She's using algorithms, right? So obviously this isn't like the end all be all. I think what it's going to say is when you're looking at this real estate map, you're going, well,
Mm-hmm.
where am I going to buy the next fixer upper rental property? And,
Mm-hmm.
in this part of town, it's early signs. And then, I guess I would figure out what else is happening in that immediate area. Is there a Whole Foods going in pretty close, right? That's always a sign that, like, if they're
Mm-hmm.
putting a Whole Foods in, I used to follow Walmarts wherever they're building a Walmart in like kind of like the smaller rural areas that's starting to
Mm-hmm.
grow. I always knew you're going to have a lot of house growth too. So this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great question that you mentioned too, Vinny, in terms of, well, what does the outlook look like? And that's something
Mm-hmm.
that we plan to incorporate in terms of like forecasting. So being able to like take let's say a graph, for example, show you where you are today in terms of growth and then what it could look like in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But off the top of my head, I would say like an in progress, we would see between 1 to 5 years
I
of
see.
having appreciation and then early signs closer to like the 5 to 10 year mark.
So this is very interesting. Again, I'm sure people watching us or in the future they'll be watching. So what's the competition? What's out there? I know Renomi is there. There are some other. Craxi is very big now, right? But it just gives you listings. What you have
Mhm.
taken is taken the data and put more, analytics to it to find somebody if they like that. I like that 15.37 right down there on the right side. That's the cap rate, or is it appreciation percentage, or what is that represent? Yeah,
Yes, it's the cap rate.
cap rate. Okay. So higher the cap rate, it's cheaper the property. So maybe the property will be bad looking, maybe. Can we click on that 15 point? Oh, yeah, it is live, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
so it's burnt property? No,
It's a fixer.
Let's see.
it's a fixer. Oh,
Well, the
look at
inside
that.
inside's not bad. The outside is ugly.
Yeah, 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 you're right.
Wow, rental comps is 3,500 is the medium for this type of property.
Wow, wow. In the Dallas area. Yeah.
That's crazy that
Yeah,
they get
five
that much.
bedroom.
Well,
hmm
that's probably
hmm
why.
That's why it's so cheap. Yeah, yeah. It needs a lot of rehab, capex and all that stuff. But anyway, this gives very nice way. So you designed the whole these blocks and everything. When you click on it, it opens up, right?
Oh, I wish. I'm the data person behind it. But we have a UX designer who she's made it
Okay.
look really beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
this one would definitely be a fixer upper,
Run
probably.
the numbers, run the numbers right there with the formulas and all. Very nice, nice.
That'd be cool
And
too
then
if you.
you can download there too. You could make a favorite right there and download right there with the arrow down. So you could download in a PDF or something,
Yeah,
right?
and you could even download as well all properties for a given
I
market.
see.
So say
Mm-hmm.
if you wanted to add, I'm not sure if it's going to show up, so I think I have just that screen. Did it show up the Excel?
Not yet.
Probably
I
not.
think you have to
Okay.
share the screen. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you could download all properties as well.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So
No,
another
this,
thing that I wanted to highlight, which I think is pretty special, is being able to see like, will a deal work? Because realistically, a lot of these deals today are not going to be cash flowing, right?
Mhm.
So in this example, it's a property in Dallas and it initially has negative cash flow, about $800.
Mhm.
But what we see here are certain tags. So we see add a bedroom, so possibly the opportunity to add a bedroom because it has pretty large square footage, as well as seller financing, which you may think seller financing on an
Mhm.
on-market deal doesn't make sense. But as I mentioned previously, since we use AI to read descriptions, look at images, what you could see here, it says owner financing available. So those are tags that we're looking at. So let's imagine in this scenario, we can add a bedroom. We maybe look at the property more. We could see there's some sort of nook, or we split out the living room. And let's imagine that this would increase by $600 if we add a bedroom. So let me change this to 4,200. You still see a negative cash on cash.
Yeah.
But if we start to maybe imagine, all right, I'm going to live in the property. I don't mind breaking even. Maybe I'll house hack it. We can now get to a point where we could tell our agent, hey, I still want to make an offer on this property, but I can't go any more than 8% below asking. So it starts to allow you to still make maybe an offer on this type of deal, but understand what your parameters are and how you could also increase rent or decrease asking price to get to your ideal number.
Got it. Nice. So mostly it's for like a single family home, maybe duplex also? No. Or triplex,
Yes.
fourplex? Yeah.
So this is also a view into Detroit.
Filter.
We
Okay.
also have multifamily,
You
couple other
do?
filters.
Yeah.
Small multifamily for now.
Like
Yeah.
it's like duplexes, fourplexes. Eventually they'll have the
Yeah.
300 unit properties you want to buy.
Wow, that'll be amazing. That'll be wonderful. So it'll be like a membership site then, is that right? Yeah. Is
Yeah,
that how
it
it
is.
is? Yeah.
It's currently live. We recently just had our Black Friday special, but if you're coming from this webinar, we could probably extend that slightly. And yeah, it's a monthly subscription for either all cities, or you could just select one of our single cities. And what makes this product a little bit different is we are actually looking at the top 55 markets across the US. And the reason why is you'll see other competitors that they are looking at everything nationwide. But then you say that data is inaccurate in many different areas. So we rather be super accurate in select amount of places and then expand, versus trying to do everything and then not having the right information.
Is there a way to see? Sorry,
No,
Vinney.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say
I was going to
you
say
go.
that I was going to say that 55 emerging markets. So you have put a lot of efforts in going through the data and everything and migration maps. So this is great for a novice to say, oh my gosh, okay, I don't want to look through the whole country. I've got 55, which are already predetermined. And then they could do their own research to go into it, right? Bo, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there any kind of global pictures we can get like on these 55 markets, like trends, like right now, like real-time trends, like okay, rents are declining, or is there a way to like aggregate this data on these 55 markets and just have kind of a glimpse of trends?
These are the cities right there. I just saw Birmingham, Alabama, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Sacramento, very close to where I live right here, Durham, North Carolina, all that. Buffalo, New York. So best for cash flow is up on the top. Hold on. So it's the cream is rising to the top right there.
Yeah, so we have some views here of say best for cash flow, hottest market, but at Bo, we are looking to get to a state where you can actually just see trends across all markets at a higher level view and see, like, for example, how rent has been over the last 3 to 5 years for maybe 4 of the top cities. So that is something that we're looking to incorporate.
Yeah, that's cool.
Beautiful. Very good. Very good.
Do you have an Steven asked, is there an app on Apple Store, or is this just web-based right now?
Oh, I see.
It's web-based right now, but you could use it on your phone as well.
Yeah. So just go to coffeeclozers.com and you can check it out. And then John asked, does it show a cap rate with no financing? Yeah, it's just your cap rate is just a non-levered cap rate.
Unlevered. Yep.
Based on the assumptions, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
And one thing I wanted to note here as well. So on this page, you could see we have this like little top pick
Mm-hmm.
marker. So within our algo, kind of similar to say, like if you go on Airbnb, you're going to have certain properties that rise to the top. Maybe those are properties that have highest reviews or more favorable areas. So we have our own drip score algorithm, we call it, where we rise what we believe to be the best properties to the top. And these are the ones that we find to be in better areas, higher cash flow, and possibly opportunity to add value.
Very cool.
Beautiful. So when people come from there and they're buying, so they're still talking to the listing agent, of course. They're just finding, okay, this is the asset and so forth. And then you do your own due diligence and everything. Huh? Right, Ariel.
Yeah, this
Yes,
is just,
exactly.
it's really a tool
It's
of
a
like,
tool.
it's a tool to like be able to kind of take a, to hone in on some listings that might make sense for you, right? Like if you're looking, if you're especially if you're like new to a market too, or investing in a market out of state, you're like, okay, she has Las Vegas here, right? Like, so I'm like,
Yep.
okay, well, even if I want to, like, there's a lot of move up buyers right now. Like I'm a move up buyer, right? But I don't want to leave my 3% money to go pay 7 or 8, right? But if I found the right deal where I was creating some value in a house that I was going to move into, then I would do it. Like right now, it's difficult for somebody that's has 3% or 2.75 30-year fixed, and then is going to go buy a more expensive property and now it's paying 7 or 8% on their mortgage, right? Like it's so crazy. That's why we're not seeing that's why there's no houses on the market
Not
right
too
now,
many,
right?
not too much inventory, for sure. I do also want to say, Ariel, you showed us Redfin, you said Realtor.com, and the third one. So that's the 3 places you're getting this information. Or are you getting from Craigslist also? Because in each city, a lot of people put the properties on Craigslist. So are you able to, scrape that too or no?
Ooh, that's a great thing. Well,
Look
first
at
off,
that. Yay.
we are getting information from Zillow, Realtor, Redfin,
Zillow.
but also a plethora of other sources.
Trulia is gone. Is Trulia gone now or
It's
no?
still there,
It's
but
still there.
It's owned by Zillow.
Yeah.
Zillow. Yeah, it's owned by them. Sure.
And in terms of
Yeah,
Craigslist,
but
actually,
Craigslist, and also I'm just thinking out loud. I teach in my academy. You should just wherever you want to go buy something, go Google it and say sale by owner, 4-bedroom home or whatever. Then you look at the links. There are so many links. They may be just unlisted or they're showing all over the place.
yeah, great point. And that site I mentioned earlier for web scraping,
Mm-hmm.
Browse.AI, they
Mm-hmm.
actually have a way to auto extract Craigslist searches.
Ah,
So,
there is. Yes.
yeah, back when I was first renting out my first property, the
Uh-huh.
rents that I saw on like apartments.com were like
Mm-hmm.
pretty low. And I was like, I don't think this really makes sense. And I realized that my market in New Jersey that I was in, most people were putting their properties on Craigslist. So I use this scraper to actually pull the information into a
Good.
spreadsheet and see,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I can actually price this rental for $300 more because this is
Yeah.
where the actual demand is and supply.
Another
Wonderful.
question. Can you search or sort by cap rates?
Oh.
Yes, you can. So you can sort by a couple different things.
Okay.
Newest listings,
Newest to oldest.
oldest, cash on
Cash
cash
and cash
return.
return. Yeah. Lowest, highest price to see where we can afford. Oldest to newest and newest to oldest. So does it show you when it was listed? Does it show if you click on the home, it will show us when the last, okay, there we go. Oh, 237 days. Got it.
So you could really scrape data and then just like look for houses that have been sitting for a long time and just make lowball offers. I mean,
Yeah.
you could just create like AI. You can use AI and tools to like if you make enough low offers that are somewhat relevant, you're gonna find some deals.
Surely. Yeah.
Yeah, actually in our version 1 of the tool, we had our lowball offer feature that like you would just like click the button, then it would send the email to the agent. We did temporarily remove that just to kind of get everything else on board. But if there's demand for it to come back, we're more than happy to put it.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, we should start a new app, and we'll name it lowballoffer.com. And
I know.
it scrapes the data and sends lowball message, or sends like a very convincing message to the listing agent. Hey, that's a good tool. They have similar tools, but that's definitely, it's a numbers game.
Yeah, it is.
It sure is. So actually, I'm just thinking about also this listed. These are either sale by owners or listing agents are tied to these properties. I'm pretty sure, right? I mean, we couldn't go directly to the owner through another campaign of texting or reaching out to them through call center or whatever, and then wholesaling the deals. I'm just looking out, how people can use this data. Yeah.
Well, we do have it right now for off market, which I believe it's live. Let me just check here.
Sure.
Where, this should actually be by end of week. We can always put it for on market as well, but we plan to have phone number here. And then there's also like a link to Fast People Search if you wanted to fact check, but we're using web scraping to pull that information.
Oh, you are. Okay. Got it. That's interesting. Very interesting. I know Coffee Clozers. That's interesting. So why did you all choose that name?
Coffees for closers.
Coffees.
Exactly.
It's a saying.
Ah, okay.
They don't say it. I've heard it. It's a very common saying, but
very common. And you got that, domain name and everything, which is beautiful.
And closers spelled with a Z.
Z.
So,
Yep.
Coffees for closers. You never said that,
I'll
Vinney?
put dollar sign. I'll put dollar sign
Ooh.
in that closers at the end, because you're closing for make, passive incomes and all. So maybe, hey.
Yeah, that's an idea. We've also actually have gotten like these spam emails of, hey, we can help with bringing your coffee costs down, just because they read the website. We're not selling coffee.
Got it. So is there also place like it shows us the total value of the properties in a sub-market? So like 52, you said, right? So could there be some like a scale up there? Hey, 53 million are in this market, which you could total it up. And that way people can see, there is less or more. Of course, the map will show also, how many properties are there.
So here's some more questions. Does the app also account for insurance and taxes based on that particular market?
So
like Texas, property taxes are going to be way higher.
And Florida. Huge. Taxes and insurance. I mean, people are getting killed.
So you put in a standardized in the algorithms per the state, and it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's going to adjust for that state probably.
Oh, so there is a place right there. Property taxes, I just saw, huh? Is it? No.
Yeah, so we pull it in for the state, and I could show you a little preview of something else that we have.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more. So this is an evolving machine.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it. Yeah.
Where's Coffee Clozers going? Like, where do you see? Let's talk when you get done. I know you can't multitask, or maybe
it's getting a little chilly. I'll be watching and all. I'm going to go inside and come back, So I'm still watching. It's just getting very chilly in the Bay Area.
Yeah, no problem at all. So to your point on, well, can you actually change things along, like, say, insurance, property taxes as things rise? So the sources that we pull from sometimes could be slightly outdated, which is why we are implementing a my settings or like buy box view where you can override. So in this case, say if you thought insurance should be higher, it should be 3% of the purchase price, for example. You could then change that and then choose for the city that you want that default to be. And then afterwards, all the properties will be based off of your settings. And this we plan to go live end of week.
Wow, you every time I talk to you now, you guys are just updating That's great though, because like basically this system can keep evolving forever. Because like there's always going to be new strategies and new inputs and new data that will make this a better technology.
Yeah, so it's definitely ever evolving. But the exciting part is that a lot of other tools out there, there's maybe like a real estate investor who maybe is consulting on it in some sense, but ultimately the people who are working on it are not in the real estate space, and they're just being given the instructions of what to do. And because of this lapse in the data structure, you'll have, say, something like this, maybe be like 3 months of a rollout to actually come live. But because I'm in the data, I'm also an investor, and two other co-founders are technical, we're able to get these features out a lot more rapidly than a traditional technical team would do.
Beautiful, beautiful. So where is it housed now? The whole thing? Where is the head office of this program?
Yeah, we are currently remote based, but plan to be fully in person. We were able to meet at this stage like every 6 to 8 weeks or so.
Sure.
Our co-founder, he's trying to get his visa. So in that process, can't always be in person, unfortunately.
Yes.
He needs to marry an American.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
I talked to him on LinkedIn. I forgot his name.
You did. You did. Yeah.
But
No, it's a beautiful program. I think, one person I'd like to mention to you who is my very good friend, Neil Bava, Neal Bava. He lives only 45 minutes away from where I live here. And we know each other quite a bit. He's the data mad scientist. Just Google him.
yeah,
So I was just wondering, if you would like to even look at some of his analytics. Yeah,
hold
go
on,
ahead.
time out real quick. That was a great point. Anyways, you'll like Neil if you don't know who he is. He's a data nerd in multifamily and
Totally.
But I want to just interrupt here, Vinney, because we were talking about this earlier. Vinney and I decided today, because we meet and we have masterminds.
Yes.
We decided today to do, and this is relevant for you, Ariel. We're doing an event called crush2024.com. That's the domain I bought today. But Crush 2024 is all about crushing 2024, right?
Yeah.
Like goals. And we're doing a summit.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to propose is one of these sessions we do on AI and technology, and you be one of our panelists on this summit.
Oh, I'd love to.
We're going to release.
That'll be awesome.
We're going to release this the first part of January, so every day, and maybe we can get Neil and yourself and maybe another person, maybe your co-founder, and really deep dive on like the future, like because like I don't think most of us realize what this technology is going to end up doing. Like it's like before you know it, it's going to be like craziness. And I think most people like just think about when like nobody had a cell phone, and like the first cell phone was that big thing that the old guys would carry, and just think about now these things have better cameras than like, and so
48 megapixels. Hold on. It's ridiculous what we have now in our palm of our hands. Yeah.
And it's powerful. So if we use tools like Clozers, Coffee Clozers, to find properties and then automate our offering or our messaging to agents and things, just think about how more efficient we can be. So anyways, crush2024.com, we should do a panel on
AI
and the future of business, really. And
wonderful. Totally. I know we use so many new tools now, like Brother Bo brought up Opus Pro is a beautiful AI tool which is able to cut through AI the videos and put scribing things and all that stuff. Of course, Claude is the big one. .ai, of course, ChatGPT and all. This is amazing. This is a good one. Yeah.
You should go on Ariel's podcast. She has a big YouTube show, Vinney.
I would love that. Yeah, Ariel.
Come on.
I would love to. Yeah. Let Bo give me your thing. I would love to come on.
Vinney moved here from India a long time ago with $7 in his pocket.
Wow.
And he grew into a hundreds of millions of dollars of assets under management. So it's his
Yeah.
success story. He lived
Uh,
in a 1 bedroom
mhm.
with like 9 family members. It was like a little
Yeah.
400 square foot apartment with like 9 people. Right? He came
Mhm.
rags to riches story. So
Incredible.
and now he's got a
Aw.
big
Very
now
nice.
he's got a big house in the Bay Area now.
Thanks, thanks. Yeah, all real estate, all about commercial real estate. And of course, the 3 books I wrote also. But we'll talk about it, Ariel, if you'd like. We
Yeah.
can, bring your audiences some great value. Sure, sure.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and
Terrific.
you should bring her into
I
your
would love
mastermind
to.
on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I would love to. Love to. And we are doing on Wednesdays in the afternoon tomorrow, like I coach. I've been doing it
Mhm.
for 7 years and to pay forward, of course. And that's 4 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Pacific, up to 5:30, where I mentor and coach lots of aspiring investors. And they'll eat it up. I mean, this software they will totally eat it up because they're in multifamily, but of course duplex and triplex. A lot of them
Okay.
get started that way.
Well,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
even just looking at the heat maps are useful for anybody
Hmm.
because you're like, hey, I'm
Totally.
buying this 100 unit apartment building, and oh, cool,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's really growing. Somebody asked, does it scrape information? So Browse.AI, I think he wants to scrape
Browse.
or
Yeah.
well, first of all, you don't Coffee Closers is not scraping from Facebook Marketplace at this time.
Not at this time,
Not at
but
this
we
time.
have
Yeah.
discussed.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
So if you go to browse.ai, that was the tool we were using. You can scrape Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace. So that's what you're going to do for now,
Hmm.
for those type of stuff. So I think, what would be cool is to, in a future time is really kind of show people in real time, like a whole, like, hey, we're going to go scrape this and then we're going to build the list. And then
Yeah.
then, create a SOP or like a training manual, and
Hmm.
then you can outsource that to your virtual team, right? So you don't necessarily
Totally.
need to do it, but you just
Totally.
you create the automations. Um, so what are you most excited about, like over the next 12 months, where you think Coffee Closers is going to roll out that you think will excite your members?
Yeah. I think the most exciting thing, at least that I've been waiting for a long period of time as well, is automatic like after repair value analysis.
Hmm.
So we plan to get deeper into analyzing images to really understand like how much it would cost to repair a certain kitchen, for example,
Hmm.
total up those costs, and then have that after repair value based on comps as well that are ready fixed and similar to that property. And I think that would solve a lot of the problem that, say, like flippers have, as well as wholesalers when they're trying to evaluate what that property would be after the repairs. And that probably will take a little bit of time within 2024 to start off. But as a data geek, I'm super excited to
Hmm.
dive into that data and then have that available for everyone.
Oh, lovely. Very nice. I know renovations, it's the cost of materials, labor, and time. So I hope you'll be putting all 3 dimensions into it
Yes.
because that will, determine, yeah, the outcome. No, this is very exciting. I'm so glad, Bo, you invited me to
Yeah.
join you here. And, any other questions or please go ahead. I don't know how long you're planning
Yeah.
to do.
I think we're wrapping up here. Well, first of all, anybody, guys, you can get I believe it's a 7-day free trial if you go to coffeeclosers with a
Yeah. Hmm.
Z.com. And then to get the what's it called, Cyber Monday special?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna have to will they have to message you? How will they get that special? You want to give them a place to go and mention that you were on this, whatever you want to call it, workshop,
Yeah.
webinar?
If you message us at info@coffeeclosers.com and
Hmm.
just say that you came to this webinar and you're looking to extend for the cyber deal, we can honor that within the next week or two.
Hmm. Very nice. Very nice. So, what is the price level, if I may ask? Are there different levels or how?
Yes, there are. So I can actually just show what that looks like as well.
Beautiful.
Yes, this was our cyber deal. Or actually,
Mm-hmm.
this is what we have for bundles. But monthly, we have 25 per city and then 100 a month, all cities.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. For
That's awesome.
casual browsing. Yep.
And
And
what?
it's a monthly contract, right? So one can, you know, is it a long-term contract or well, if you pay
No,
for
you
the
can go
year,
month to month
huh? Month to month. Yeah,
if you'd
yeah.
like.
Because sometimes, people are right, they want a property, now they're busy in renovating and all,
Yeah.
so they may not be doing more research until they are ready for the next one and next one, kind of like that. Okay, sure.
Exactly. We do want to get to a stage where we have just like a trend analysis so that even if you're
Mm-hmm.
not looking for a property at the moment, you can kind of get a heads up like, hey, rents are really starting to decline, vacancies are up, or other attributes to
Mm-hmm.
help you understand your market over time.
Beautiful. Oh, wow. I think this will be a very nice one. I'm just thinking who might be coming after you or parallel to you, defining these
Yeah, but
things.
they don't have the tech team. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also,
If you needed any seed money,
Uh-huh.
Vinny loves to be an angel investor.
Oh, totally, totally, totally. I
He's,
think we would love to sit down and talk.
and you can get your good friend
Yes.
who's in AI.
AI, actually, we built a company from scratch,
oh
Ariel,
wow,
and my partner, Anshu Bansal, he took one company to NASDAQ and sold it. And now this is his
wow,
second one, and it's in cybersecurity. It's called cloud defense.ai, and it's becoming
awesome.
big force in just 3 4 years, and we are going for IPO.
Let's get
Looks like.
That's incredible.
let's get him on the technology platform for Crush 2024.
Oh yeah, we will.
There we
Oh,
go.
it's
That'll be a
done.
great.
It's done.
And then, of course, you can go to my podcast, which is Investor Finance. Just go to investorfinancing.tv. Takes you to the YouTube channel. Vinney, you can search Vinney, VinneyChopra.com, and you can learn
Yeah.
more about what he does. He's a big multifamily, hospitality, assisted living, and you can learn more about him. Vinney and I do a show, and we release it every Friday on our YouTube channel. It's called The Vinney and Bo Show. We talk about
Mhm.
entrepreneurship, and real estate and life and positivity. Vinny's written 3 or 4 books already. And I'm like, this is the first time he's not shown us his books. He usually gets good at self-promoting.
So I happen to have one nearby.
There you go. One,
It used to be
Nice.
250, now it's billion. So it's $7 to a billion, portfolio. But no, thank you so much. Bo. The key thing is, the big thing is whatever you are buying or doing, do more of it. And that's where I come into play. How to raise money with family, friends. That's where the art of raising money is the success where where we are and everything. So syndication is the word that a lot of people frown upon. Then I wrote the book, Apartment Syndication Made Easy. And that's what I teach also. So it's the doing of what you want to do. Like Ariel's, I mean, there'll be so many properties you want to buy. So if you know how to harness skills to raise money, that's what it's all about. Just Google Vinney Chopra all over the place: YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, link all over.
all right, now you got to go. Where are you? Where are we going to find you?
Yes, Ariel.
Yeah, you could find me at LinkedIn, Ariel
Mhm,
Herrera, as well. I
mhm.
have a YouTube channel called Tech and Real Estate, where we bridge the gap between real estate and technology and have different tutorials, just like how to use Browse.AI for pulling foreclosures and
Mhm.
how to use data analytics. So you could find me on that channel as well.
That's
Beautiful.
cool. Yeah. Well, everybody
Excellent.
that's watching, I hope you
Yeah.
enjoyed. Let me just see any last questions that we missed. Is there a replay? We already answered that. I don't know. If you're watching, what was the SBA classes? Oh, Amy, SBA, go to sbaclass.com. It will take you to the Eventbrite. And that's a Saturday workshop. And it's going to be all about SBA financing. I love it. Once I taught myself how to arrange this, and I have great relationships with banks, I basically facilitate you getting the loan and structuring the deal. But literally, for example, Vinny and
Mhm.
I structured a deal. The guy didn't have the money, but he was qualified from a buyer standpoint to get the SBA loan. And Vinney and I own less than 20%. And actually, it's my wife who owns the LLC that owns it. But the point is that Vinney and I were the investors.
Yep.
We're owning less than 20%. We put up the equity in the deal, and then he got what he wanted. He's the majority owner of the business and the real estate. And so if you're looking self-storage, buying business with or without real estate, motels, all that could be SBA financeable. So that's what the workshop's going to be about. How to start a franchise. I just actually closed the deal. Actually, it's closing tomorrow. He bought a franchise startup. It was $115,000 total project cost. We built in like 40 grand of working capital. And the guy, all he had to come in was to close the deal was $11,500.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So I can help a beginning entrepreneur, and I can help like somebody who's got 50 million bucks and got a bunch of properties and hotels and stuff. So there's use for everybody. I get just as much, joy out of helping this guy, because this guy was a sales guy for a gutter company. And like, he was doing good. I mean, he made, like 100 grand a year. I mean, in most cities you can live. In California, you can't live off 100 grand, right? But the point is like, I want my goal then became, I want to help 10,000 people become business owners, entrepreneurs, and help them grow over the next 10 years, right? Because it's really,
love it.
And it's a great product. If you live in the States, SBA financing, it's partially guaranteed by the federal government. I mean, you can't get financing like this anywhere else. So anyways, just a food for thought, sbaclass.com. Thanks for the sales pitch, Bo. And
excellent. No, it's so nice to meet you, Ariel. Love to have you on my show, and then I'll come on yours. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thank you, everyone.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Bo Eckstein here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe to this channel. We talk all things financing. I've been in the lending industry for over 20 years, and I'm happy to answer your questions and provide great content.